My name is Anna Kate King. The Kate is for Catherine, my maternal great-grandmother, whose mother was Elise Nunley Wallace, my cousin Wad's great-aunt. I know that my mom adored her granny, and my mom has said that her granny loved being part of the Nunley family. Today I'll be reading from Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 through 13. There is an appointed time for everything, and there is a time for every event under heaven. A time to give birth and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to throw stones and a time to gather stones. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to embrace and a time to shun embracing. A time to tear apart and a time to sew together. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. What profit is there to the worker from that in which he toils? I have seen the task which God has given the sons of men with which to occupy themselves. He has made everything appropriate in its time. He has also set eternity in their heart. Yet so that man will not find out the work which God has done from the beginning even to the end. I know that there is nothing better for them than to rejoice and to do good in one's lifetime. Moreover, that every man who eats and drinks sees good in all his labor. It is the gift of God. When I was 11 years old, we moved to Hickman County, and it was that Christmas that I met Wad for the first time. He came every year for a family meal, and we called it the Wad Dinner. My sister, cousin, and I could not sit at the adult table yet, but he was so generous to us with a Christmas envelope and sought out getting to be in our life. A few years later, when he found out I was going to Europe on an educational trip, he wanted to know all about our travels, and he even sent some spending money. We would send him pictures, and he knew exactly where we were by the pictures. I remember one time when we were in Florence, we were on this beautiful bridge, and my mom sent him a picture of us. And just after seeing it, he knew exactly where it was, what the name of it was, and the history behind it that I didn't even know. And I even have a beautiful rosary that was blessed by a cardinal in the Vatican because of his generosity. The following year, he made sure I was able to take a different trip, and I got to see the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame, the beaches at Normandy, the Bayeux Tapestry, and countless other breathtaking experiences. During my senior year, he actively supported me and encouraged me to go to the University of Tennessee, where I am a freshman, and without prompting me, he wrote a letter to encourage me to go through sorority recruitment because he said his wife Sarah made dear friends in a sorority in college, and he wanted me to have the same opportunity. I even called him to share my experiences my first week of school and how much I loved being in a sorority. We would talk often, especially as I made the transition to college, and I would never take those conversations for granted. Despite us being in different seasons of our lives, I knew that Wad's life exemplified God's making things beautiful in all seasons, and he sought to make a difference in mine. I texted him on his birthday a couple of weeks before he passed, and I will always appreciate his last words to me. I love you, and I am so proud of you. Wad will always live in my heart, and I will miss him greatly. Through our relationship and his generous actions, Wad made sure and continues to make sure that I will always have a seat at a table. However, no table will be as cherished to me as the memory of being in the presence of one whose life showed me what God can do as mentioned in this scripture. Wad did so much good while he lived, and I am sure, but I am but one of who has benefited from his generous and wise spirit. I hold dear the chance I got this past Christmas when I was finally upgraded to the adult table, and I got to sit and visit with Wad. In every season of my life, Wad's love, generosity, and guidance will remain with me. Having him in my life was and will always be a gift of God.